Good morning, good morning, good morning, or good afternoon, whichever one it is by the time you hear it. Good night, whichever time of day it is. Hello, thanks for joining me back on my channel. I just want to take a short time to thank everyone who has supported the channel, liked the videos, subscribed, commented. I can't fucking talk, dude. But thank you guys. I sincerely mean that. Thank each and every one of you, whether it's 12 million subscribers or 12 subscribers. I love you all. Thank you for allowing me to do this. So with all that soft mushy shit out of the way, let's get to it. And today, hold on. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. A little fuck up. Today I want to talk about my good friend Jon Jones. I would like to. And namely, I would like to talk about Jon Jones versus Dominick Cruz. It's coming up fucking February 8th. Not too far away at all. And at the beginning of this fight announcement, when this fight was first announced or whatever, I didn't really care. I didn't really care much about Jon Jones fighting Dominick Cruz. And I did see Jon Jones' last fight. I saw it live, not live, but I saw it at a bar and I was watching it. I watched the pay-per-view or whatever. And for a while, man, I was thinking Thiago Santos was winning the fight. And I thought that Thiago was winning the fight because I don't think I've ever seen anyone do what Thiago Santos did to Jon Jones. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it. And I'm going to touch back on that a little in a little bit. But I want to go to these stats. Now, when you look at the stats, look at the total strikes, significant strikes. You see, obviously Jon Jones landed more, and he was a lot more conservative with his strikes. He didn't throw too many winging strikes that missed. He didn't throw too many kicks that missed. He was pretty accurate. 65% accurate. It's pretty goddamn accurate, with his striking. This fight, I don't think, went to the ground once, even though Jon Jones tried for a takedown one time. He had Thiago in the clinch 4 times out of the 6 that he attempted, and Thiago had Jon in the clinch 1 out of the 7 times he attempted to clinch. And you get down here and you look at the strikes. Now let's look at these strikes. Now, round one, I was like, Jesus, as you see here, Thiago Santos landed 11 of his 26 strikes, and Jon only landed 7 of the 16, and, that round one, Thiago, that's why I had it. But in round 2, I think round 2 was when Thiago Santos hurt his knee. And, I think he blew it out. I forgot what he did. I think it was honestly like an odd movement. I can't remember whether or not it was an odd movement. Like, he just, he threw a kick and, landed wrong. Or he, kicked Jon Jones and, it landed awkwardly. Or Jon might have checked his kick. I forget, honestly, how it happened. But we're going to look at that in a little bit. And you see round 2, he kind of trailed off by 3 strikes or 4 strikes, 5 strikes to really win the round. But, Jon Jones won that round. But you see Thiago Santos's output, it's high, The blue margin that you see out of the white margin, the blue margin is how many strikes actually landed. Now this white margin right here is how many strikes he threw but did not land. So out of 42 strikes, he only landed 7. Out of 17 strikes, Jon landed 11. Out of 33 strikes in the third round, he only landed 6, Thiago Santos. And John Jones in the same round landed 14 of the 19 that he threw. In the fourth round, Thiago threw 28 strikes and only landed 8. John Jones threw 17 and landed 11. And in the last round, John landed 16 of the 21 he threw, and he only landed. Thiago Santos only landed 11 of the 37 he threw. Okay, so on paper, John Jones wins the fight, no questions asked. But there is a video that it just popped up in my feed. And it was put together by Watcher. And I do believe that Watcher is a subscriber of mine. And he actually commented on the video and, told me how good of a job I did. So thank you, Watcher, for the video. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it, my friend. But he posted this video of, clips from the fight. And he showed how often Thiago Santos was landing. When you don't have any scorecards and you're just watching a fight and you're at a bar where people are drinking, motherfuckers are being loud and shit, it's kind of hard to gauge things sometimes. So a lot of times I have to go back home and I have to fucking rewatch a fight whenever I'm able to rewatch it, which is usually like two days after the fight on Saturday. And I rewatch these fights, and I've never really gotten a chance to rewatch Thiago Santos versus John Jones until I saw this video made by Mr. Watcher down here. Go to Watcher's page, go like this video, go subscribe, and go fucking like all his videos, man. Leave a good job comment right here too. That'd be pretty fucking awesome of you guys. But let's get into this. And I want to get into how Dominic Reyes can relate this fight into his fight. Because even though Thiago Santos didn't land a lot, the strikes that he landed, they were important, they were telling, and they fucking challenged John Jones. I don't care what anybody says. If you just saw this fight without knowing what the fucking statistics were or the scorecards were, you would have thought that Thiago Santos won the fight. You would have thought. But we look at the statistics and he obviously did not. But let's go and let's talk about this. Let's talk about this fight. And now this is the first round, and you see Thiago Santos is really he was really doing good with the leg kicks. And this is the fight that Thiago, the only round that Thiago won, where he landed 11 of the 26 strikes he threw, and John Jones only landed 7. And let me tell you why this happens. Because notice what Thiago Santos is doing. First off, Thiago Santos is probably like 6'3". He's right around the same height as John Jones, and he's a much thicker boy than John Jones is. But what I want you guys to keep an eye on is his distance. Now, John Jones is a 6'4" light heavyweight that has the reach of Stefan Struve, who is 7 feet tall. That's who John Jones is. He's a fucking genetic freak of nature, in the most respectful, best way possible, bro. And so, here I'm gonna slow it down a little bit, and let's just look at the distance, okay? Look at the distance. Look how Thiago he always keeps this distance. Now, John Jones is known for his distance. He's not only known for his long ass arms. What makes his long frame so dangerous is that his distance management is so goddamn good. He knows where you are. It is almost as if John Jones is watching himself fight on a TV screen while he's fighting. That's how goddamn good his distance management is. When you're watching a fight and you're telling a fighter, hey, fucking throw that punch, it's right there. and like it's like the fighter doesn't see that the punch is right there. John Jones sees the openings. You know, it's like he's watching himself fight on this screen, and that's what's just so brilliant about John Jones. I'm not trying to suck his dick, but Jesus Christ, he's the best, bro. Not my fault. You know, I didn't train the motherfucker. But let's watch this distance management. Like, notice how, and like, this fight was not the norm for Thiago Santos. Usually, Thiago Santos is a fucking murderer, okay? He's a juggernaut that marches forward, and he throws hooks. He throws these fucking crazy winging hooks. He knocks down all the fucking shit in his room. He throws these crazy winging hooks, and he fucking sleeps people. He sleeps people just because he just keeps coming. And he has a very impressive gas tank, might I add. But look at the distance management. He's not acting crazy. He's not doing too much. John Jones, tries to go for a takedown, tries to go for the spinning elbow. And dude, that's just how aware. Let's go back and look at that. That's just how aware John Jones is. And now, it's also a testament to how aware Thiago Santos is. You know, to be aware and, like, I don't know. I think John might have missed that one. I honestly think John might have miscalculated that one. I think he went too high. No, actually, that was kind of perfect. I think he may have hit him. It's so hard to tell sometimes. Oh, fuck me. That was bad. Alright, so he didn't hit him. I think he might have, like, clipped him with his hand, maybe. But he definitely didn't tag him with that elbow. But good job for Thiago Santos for getting out of the way. I don't even think Thiago Santos, knew that was coming. I think that was just, one of those things, man. Instincts, if anything. But, Thiago Santos, he isn't rushing in. He isn't, getting overzealous. Like he seems to be in a lot of his other fights. He's just a fucking juggernaut. Like, if you saw Thiago Santos, if this was your first Thiago Santos fight that you saw, you would think that this guy was just like a fucking, meticulous, calculated fighter. But he's not. He's a fucking literal juggernaut, bro. But like in this fight, he's just managing that distance. Look how he's not coming in. He's waiting for John Jones to come to him. He prods John Jones with leg kicks, low leg kicks. And like he does that, he's coming in right there. He doesn't get anything, but that's just to keep John on his toes. And look at that leg kick, another leg kick, and of course that is checked by John. You don't want to have John Jones check your leg kicks. And look at that right there. He knocks out the mouthpiece of John Jones. Let's run that back. He and like how Thiago Santos is doing this right now, this lunging. That's how he fights. That's literally how he fights. He lunges in. And he's looking to fucking knock your shit out. And then he goes for leg kick. It is checked. And then we see that he goes in for another lunge. Boom! Catches him with that right hand. And tries to go with that. No. And he actually is, good sportsmanship by Thiago Santos for not, fucking keeping on John Jones after his mouthpiece was knocked out. But, this is good. John Jones picks up his mouthpiece. They have a little laugh, and they're back at it. John with that nasty oblique, and you see that Thiago Santos, he is maintaining that distance, but he still is coming in just to keep John from taking advantage of his his inactivity, if you will. And now Thiago Santos was very active in this fight. But not as active as he was in his other fights. Not even close. And I think this is where he might have hurt his leg. Leg. I think it looked like he went for a rounded kick, and he hit his it looked like he hit his foot off of John Jones' shin. But like, look at his left knee. His left knee like buckles. His left knee buckles after that kick, because he had all of his weight on his left leg, but it landed awkwardly. I don't even think it landed at all. Wait, hold on. I think it grazed John Jones, honestly. All right, and so Thiago Santos, he like stumbles on his left leg, and like I think it buckles, and I think that's how he blew his knee out. And right then John Jones goes for the kill. Now John Jones is a fucking killer, as you can see. He goes right for it. Now John thinks that it's his right leg that's hurt. John doesn't know that it's really his left leg. His left leg buckled, but John thinks that it's because he checked his right kick, and he thinks that his right leg is hurt. So John goes after the right leg, and then watch how Thiago reacts. He knows that he's in trouble. He knows that his left leg is hurt, and he knows that John Jones knows that something on his body is hurt. So he does what he does best, and that's fucking brawl out of a tough situation. Bow, bow. And look, John has no choice but to give him respect. You got to. You have to give the man his respect. You have to. John Jones does just that. And that's one of the things that was it was most telling about this fight, is that John was respecting this man. I'm not saying that John doesn't respect his opponents while he's in the octagon. He definitely does, but there was a very special type of respect in this fight that we saw from John Jones. And John Jones is a genius. He's smart. He knows what can happen if Thiago Santos lands flush. It's not nice. It's fucking unpretty. Ooh. Thiago Santos switching the leg here. He's now southpaw. I know that fucking has to hurt. Jesus Christ. He caught that elbow. He caught that elbow flush, dude. Look at that elbow. Oh, yeah, dude. That was like right at the top of the ankle. That's nasty. That's hard. Kicking somebody's elbow. Oh, I hate that shit. Huh. Oh, that was like his foot. And look at that. Thiago's not even bothered by it. Tough guy, dude. These are tough guys. Get out of the way of that fucking kick. That was a nice dodge. But just look at the distance maintenance. Look at the distance. He's keeping his distance from John Jones. He's keeping John Jones at a distance, and the thing that's keeping John Jones from coming in is the incredible strength and power, KO fucking power of Thiago Santos. Thiago Santos fucking spins people's heads around, Fucking hard-hitting Brazilian. And John Jones knows this. And so John Jones, he's keeping his distance, but at the same time, Thiago Santos is keeping his distance too. Thiago Santos isn't just coming out there and he's coming in, he's swinging like that, but like honestly, that wasn't the entire fight. He would do that like very rarely. Would he just start to lunge out and throw punches at? He wasn't doing that the entire fight, and that's why he missed so many strikes. When you look at the UFC stats, you look at round 2, you look at round 3, you see like how he's only landing 6 out of 33, 7 out of 42. Like this is the reason why, Every now and then he would just throw some of those flurries, and not many punches would land on John Jones because he's fucking long and quick, and he gets out of the way like none other. But look at that head kick. You saw that head kick? That was beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous lead left. That looks like the lead left head kick that got what's his name? Gregor Galet. Oh no, never mind. No, that wasn't a leg kick. That wasn't a lead leg kick. That was a rear leg kick. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, rear leg kick. And this is very good. This is very good. Dominic Reyes needs to focus on range. He doesn't need to try to, go in and try to get in John Jones's face, hoping to knock him out in the first round. It's not going to happen. Throw it out of the window. If it comes, it comes. Throw it out of the window, Dominic, if you're watching this. If you just so happen to watch my fucking a small YouTube channel, bro, maintain distance. Now, the second thing is, look at what Thiago Santos is doing right here. Now, instead of just throwing a rear roundhouse, he while he loads up, he does the normal motion. He loads up, and he puts his left hand on the shoulder of Jon Jones. Now, I have never seen anybody do this. I've never seen anybody be able to touch the shoulder of Jon Jones. But because Santos isn't giving Jon Jones what he wants, he's not constantly like chasing Jon Jones, and he also has power. Like, Jon Jones wasn't attacking as much as he usually does attack, just because if he fucks up, if he slips up, throws a fucking kick that doesn't land, or, it whiffs, throws a punch that whiffs, and Thiago comes back with one of his own and he connects, bro, that's fucking lights out. Jon knew this, but it made him a lot more tentative. And Dominic Reyes has punching power too. He's knocked out quite a few people, but he gets Jon Jones to, keep his distance and respect his striking. And because he keeps Jon Jones from, throwing his usual large output of strikes, like Jon Jones he's a lot more stagnant. And so he loads up with the rear roundhouse instead of just loading up and just throwing it. He puts his hands on the shoulder of Jon Jones, and he throws that right roundhouse, or the left rear roundhouse, to make sure that he tags Jon Jones with it. And in the last video with Michael Venom Page, it was kind of the same. It was kind of the same thing with Michael Page versus Douglas Lima. How Douglas Lima, Michael Page hits the ground after being swept, having his legs swept from under him. Douglas Lima puts his hand on the shoulder of Michael Page, and he just, he uses that hand on the shoulder to gauge the shot, I guess. And he does the same here to Jon Jones. Now that was very good. And he gets him with the toes, and then follows up with a leg kick. And dude, this fight showed truly how tough Jon Jones is. He's a fucking tough guy, Tough guy. But the distance management, he's catching the legs. He's staying out of the way of a lot of the strikes. And he would just throw spinning wheel kicks out of the blue, Thiago Santos. He would just throw them out of the blue. You wouldn't see it coming. But the main thing out of this fight, I got from this fight, was just distance. Thiago Santos maintained a great distance. He did the same thing that Jon Jones does to everybody else. He maintains distance, and he waits for Jon Jones to come to him. When Jon Jones does come to him, that's when, he prods with leg kicks, and he'll throw those looping punches. But look at that, caught him again. But he's waiting for Jon Jones. He's waiting for Jon Jones to come in, because he knows that Jon Jones is a little bit more timid, because Thiago Santos does have that power. And he's still throwing that left leg. He's still throwing that left leg, dude. That's ridiculous. Look at that. Gets him. Jon Jones is doing a good job. He did a good job at staying out of staying in range. Ooh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful elbow. God, that's how every elbow should be. Jesus Christ, I don't understand why the elbow is the most underutilized weapon in MMA. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it, man. elbows are amazing, especially inside. Oh my god, you get so much shit done inside. Rocked him. That was a knockdown. That was a good knockdown. Ooh, gets him with a knee. And you know, John, he was just the more strategic fighter. You know, and then who knows what could have happened had Thiago Santos not blew out his knee in the second round. And shout out to Thiago Santos for just keeping with it after blowing out. I think he tore like an ACL or MCL. I can't forget. Meniscus. I think he tore multiple ligaments. I don't think it was just one ligament. I think he tore. Like one. I think he fucked his knee up pretty good in that fight. But let's talk about Dominic Reyes. I've been talking about Jon Jones versus Thiago Santos for. It's been feels like 30 minutes I've been talking about this shit. So let's talk about how this relates to Dominic Reyes, man. Dominic Reyes doesn't really have a very impressive record. He doesn't. He's 12-0 and that's cool, but, that doesn't really mean anything. Especially, like, he has wins over, a lot of unknown people. And, like, the only known people, Chris Weidman, Ovin St. Preux, Jared Cannonier, Volkan Ozdemir, but I've never honestly been on the Volkan Ozdemir train. I don't understand the Volkan Ozdemir hype train. I just don't get it. I'm not on it. But Jared Cannonier is a dude. Jared Cannonier is fucking murdering in middleweight right now, man. Murder. Ovin St. Preux, fantastic striker, fantastic submission artist too. And not a lot of people talk about, but fantastic submission artist, fantastic grappler. Chris Weidman, fantastic grappler, but he was coming up from middleweight. I don't know. I feel like this should be another fight. I know he's at the top of the division right now, Dominic Reyes, but I feel like he needs one more fight. I feel like this record is not enough to go up against Jon Jones, who has a record like this. Look at his record. Look at all the people that Jon Jones has beaten. Stephan Bonner, Brandon Vera, Vladimir Matviusenko, Ryan Bader, who is now heavyweight and light heavyweight champion of Bellator. Ryan Bader, he got beat by Jon Jones, and he ended up going to Bellator, and he became the fucking champ of Bellator. The champ. He's holding 2 titles. And that just goes to show how good Jon Jones really is. He beat Mauricio Shogun Rua. Oh yeah, he beat Mauricio Shogun Rua. And oh man, dude, I remember after the fight with Ryan Bader, Mauricio Rua joined the octagon with Jon while Jon was celebrating his win. And, Mauricio came in with his team and whatnot. And there was a look that Mauricio Shogun Rua gave Jon Jones. You know what? I'm going to look for it. I'm going to show you guys this look. Now, I know the hardcore fans might remember the look that Mauricio Rua gave Jon Jones in the ring after Jon Jones submitted Ryan Bader. I'm going to show you this look. I'll be right back. I'm going to keep talking. I'm just going to my documents and try to find that look. Okay, I found it. All right, so I don't know if you guys remember this, but check this shit out, dude. Who remembers this shit, dude? Who remembers Mauricio Shogun Rua looking at Jon Jones like this? Does anybody remember this? Is anybody? Hey man, when I saw the picture after Jon Jones beat Ryan Bader, when I saw this picture of just Shogun looking at Jon Jones like a fucking lion, bro. He has he's looking at him at the out the corner of his eye, dude. Like that shit, it's such a fucking nasty look, dude. Like, imagine you're in Brazil in like one of the favelas, right? Or the favelas, and you're walking around, in this fucking ghetto ass neighborhood, and you pass a Brazilian man, dude, and he's just looking at you like Shogun is looking at you. He's looking at you, bro. The fuck are you gonna do next? You'll fucking kill that guy so he won't kill you, Jesus Christ. But he fucking TKOs Mauricio Hua, despite the death stare. He beat Rampage. He beat fucking Lyoto Machida, Rashad Evans, Vitor Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Alexander Gustafsson, Glover Teixeira, Daniel Cormier, Ovince St. Preux, Daniel Cormier again. It's a no contest, but fuck you. He beat him twice. I don't care. He lost twice. DC lost twice. That's what happened. He beat Alexander Gustafsson again, this time by KO. Beat Anthony Smith, and then beat Thiago Santos. Jon Jones for the last... Jon Jones for the last 10 years since he fought Stephan Bonnar. Because Stephan Bonnar was a motherfucker. Say what you want, but in 2009, Stephan Bonnar was the fucking man. Stephan Bonnar was the man. He was. All these dudes were the fucking man until they faced Jon Jones. Brandon Vera, the fucking man. Brandon Vera was the fucking man, dude. Without an incredible fucking Muay Thai skill set before Jon Jones came in and said, what it do? What it do? Fucking Lyoto Machida. He dropped Lyoto Machida on his face, dude. Choked him out, dropped him on his face. Never seen no shit. That was the fight. When he dropped Lyoto Machida by the guillotine, that was the fight that truly sold me on Jon Jones. Because Quentin Jackson, I was going for Rampage. I was going for Shogun. I was going for Ryan Bader. Not Ryan Bader. I was going for Shogun though. I was going for Shogun, and I went for Rampage. And after Lyoto Machida, I was like, hey, dude. Hey, maybe this guy just doesn't get beaten. And for sure, this guy just doesn't get beaten. And so I just don't think that Dominic Reyes has the record. I don't think he's fought the necessary people. Now, anything can happen in MMA, as you know. But I don't think that he's fought, the people necessary to have the experience to beat Jon Jones. I think that Thiago Santos has quite a bit more fights than 12. I could be wrong though. 21. Now, you see, that's good. That's good. He has a lot. Yeah. He fucking fought Uriah Hall. God damn. This dude used to be a middleweight. Thiago Santos used to be a fucking middleweight. Yeah, bro. See, look at Santos's record. He has Vicente Luque. He beat Vicente Luque, and this was in 2012 TKO. Oh no, Vicente Luque beat him. But he fought Vicente Luque, and Vicente Luque is tearing the middleweight division up right now. Cesar Ferreira, Uriah Hall. He lost to Uriah Hall though. He fought Elias Theodoro, Nate Marquardt, Gegard Musashi. He fought Jack Hermanson, Anthony Smith, David Branch, Eric Anders, Jimmy Manuwa, Jan Blachowicz. So I mean, this guy has fought some people. And he's lost to some people. So he knows what it means to win big, and he knows what it means to lose big. He does. And that's important. It's important to take losses to guys like Gegard fucking Musashi, Uriah Hall, and Vicente Luque. Those guys are fucking murderers, bro. Cesar Ferreira, murderer, bro. They are, man. And and he's beat even more impressive names. So I think that Thiago Santos going into that fight, I think that he had, experience, more experience than Dominic Reyes. Let's see Anthony Smith. I know Anthony Smith has a fucking world of experience. Look at this, 33 fucking fights, 14 losses. 33 wins, 14 losses. That's a record. Like that he should be fighting for a championship. He has been in the game for a very long time. Dominic Reyes has not. But since Dominic Reyes is fighting Jon Jones, here's what Dominic Reyes needs to do. He needs to do exactly what Thiago Santos did in this fight. He needs to maintain this distance. That's one thing that we haven't seen anybody do against Jon Jones. And that is maintain distance just like Jon Jones maintains his distance. And because Thiago Santos maintained his own distance, and because Jon Jones maintained his own distance, and he didn't really have too many people charging in on him, too many charge-ins or whatever like that. It went to split. It was a split decision. Jon Jones' first split decision. That was the first decision where one judge thought, yeah, the other guy won. The other guy beat Jon. And the rest of the judges scored it fucking 48-47. The rest of the judges scored it 48-47. And one judge, it was the first time ever that one judge said, oh yeah, Jon Jones lost a round. That was the first fucking time ever in a decision where a judge said, yeah, Jon Jones didn't win this fight. And old Junichiro over here was thinking just like me, And now that I see the statistics and now that I go back and look at the fight again, Jon Jones did land the smarter punches, the smarter kicks and knees and elbows. He did exactly what he had to do in there. And fucking Watcher, I fuck with you, dude. I love you, man. But Thiago Santos didn't beat Jon Jones. But what Thiago Santos, and I thought he did. I sincerely thought he fucking did. But this is what Thiago Santos did do. He laid down a blueprint. He said, hey, if you just remain patient with Jon Jones, if you just bide your time, do what you have to do, kind of mimic him a little bit. Mimic his distance management. If you just mimic his distance management like Thiago Santos is, your odds shoot up. They shoot up tremendously. That I think that threw Jon Jones off in this fight. The fact that Thiago Santos wasn't really charging in like Jon Jones probably thought he would be. Jon Jones probably thought that Thiago Santos was going to be fucking coming in looking for spears, trying to just like hurt him and trying to throw everything, weaken all these shots. And no, Thiago Santos came in smart. He came in smart. And essentially, and Thiago Santos took some lumps in this fight. There's no getting around that. But the blueprint is there, and it's not all figured out and it's not concrete, but it's something. This man was the first person ever. Jon Jones has a few fucking decision wins. He has 9 decision wins. So out of 9 decision wins, only 1 was a split decision. And that means something, bro. And that's because Thiago Santos went in there and he did not fucking feed into Jon Jones' game plan. Jon Jones thought that he was going to wait for him to come. Everybody always loves coming to Jon. For whatever goddamn reason, people always find it in their minds to just, hey, you know what? I'm going to attack Jon Jones. I'm going to attack this 6'4" light heavyweight that has the reach of fucking Stefan Struve. I'm going to attack this man. I'm going to attack this man constantly. And you know what happens to those people? They get elbowed. They get spinning back elbowed. They get punched in the mouth. They get kneed in the body. They get kneed in the face. They get kicked in the body. They get all types of terrible shit happens to to people when they tried to attack John Jones. Thiago Santos, he had a great game plan. He was trying to rip John Jones's head off, but he did it when he felt, it was something, it was necessary to do. He didn't just go out there constantly trying to attack this man. He played his part. See that? Look at that. He's calm. He's not worried about it. John Jones trying to put his hand out like he does. He's trying to put his hand out and prod. And look what Thiago Santos does. He's just fucking knocking the hand down. Nope. Look at that. Nope. Every time John, and that's what John Jones, he puts those long ass arms out and they're just feelers, Because if his arms are this long, he might not be able to hit you with a jab because his arms are already out here. But that a lead left, switch kick is going to fuck your body up, because he's putting his hands in your face. You think he's going to come for, maybe a punch or something. He does something completely different than what you think he's going to do. Thiago Santos isn't playing he isn't playing that game. And that's what Dominic Reyes has to do. He has to not play that game at all. If he doesn't play the game, he's going to be great. He could actually beat him, If he just doesn't play John Jones's game, stays at a distance, only comes in when it's time to fucking strike, he needs to work those leg kicks. He needs to work straight kicks. Like rounded kicks don't seem to work much on John Jones. What Dominic Reyes needs is a lot of straight strikes. Not too many rounded strikes. Rounded strikes doesn't work against that man. He's just going to put his hands out and he's going to lean out here and he's going to fucking back up until you stop striking. And then when you stop striking, he's going to throw a nasty lead switch kick to your liver, and it's going to hurt bad. So that's what Dominic Reyes needs to do. But the thing is, he hasn't been put in fucked up positions. TKO, submission, TKO, KO, KO, TKO, TKO, submission, KO. He's only had He's only had 3 decisions. This man, Dominic Reyes, is on top of the world right now. He is. He's feeling it all, dude. He's feeling all the fucking pressure. And, he's also, dressing in nice, fancy fucking linens now. He has nice sunglasses and shit. And I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve that. But when you're going against somebody like John Jones, you need to be somebody like Thiago Santos. Thiago Santos is a fucking murderer, but he's also smart. He was very smart in that fight against John Jones. I don't know if Dominic Reyes is that smart. I don't know if this guy is that smart. He gets TKOs, yeah. He gets TKOs and KOs in the first round, yeah. But I don't know if he's that smart. I don't know if he's that smart that he can just go in there and implement the game plan needed to beat the greatest fucking fighter ever. Ever. He became the greatest fighter ever in the UFC's most controversial division. I remember when the light heavyweight division was the most controversial division, dude. It was the craziest fucking division. And you know what John Jones did? He came in with a fucking broom and a mop and he cleaned these motherfuckers out, dude. Started sweeping goddamn contenders over to Bellator and retiring people. And he fucking shook the faith of the entire light heavyweight division for 10 years. For 10 years he's done this. And he hasn't been thwarted. Not even close. But Thiago Santos, he's the closest that there's ever been. And now, I'm not trying to doubt Dominic Reyes, because as I said earlier in this video, anything can happen in MMA. Any fucking thing. You can literally throw any goddamn technique, any strike, as long as it's not, poking somebody in the eye and kicking them in the balls or, some shit like that. Everything is on the table. And so I'm not really sure what Dominic Reyes has. Maybe Dominic Reyes does have the fucking key. But on paper, on paper, he's never been in a fight. And I'm going to say this last thing and I'm going to end on this. I'm gonna end on this. Uh, a man that I listen to, you know, he has his own podcast. A man that I've listened to since I was a young kid, you know, playing boxing video games before I even got into, you know, combat sports. You know, I was just playing like boxing video games and all this stuff. And there was an announcer. His name is Teddy Atlas. I'm pretty sure, you know, fight fans, boxing fans know exactly who the fuck Teddy Atlas is. Teddy Atlas, man, he said, I think I saw him on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he said this very interesting thing about Mike Tyson. Now, he says that Mike Tyson, you know, when Mike Tyson was Mike Tyson in the late 80s, early 90s, knocking everyone out, before Buster Douglas, he says that all the people that Mike Tyson knocked out, you know, those weren't fights. You know, Mike Tyson hasn't been in fights. That's what Teddy Atlas says. And the first time that Mike Tyson was in a fight against Buster Douglas, you know, he faded and he got KO'd. You know, a fight isn't you beating somebody by KO in a minute and 43 seconds. That's not a fight. A fight is not you throwing a flying knee in the first 4 seconds of the fight and laying your opponent out. That's not a fight. You know? It's not. A fight is going 5 fucking 5-minute rounds. 5-minute rounds against the greatest mixed martial artist that has ever fucking done it. And that's something that Thiago Santos did. He did it. And he got a split decision. One judge was like, he won. That's impressive. That's a fucking fight. That's fighting. When you throw a leg kick and it gets checked and you end up, you know, standing on your left leg wrong, and then your fucking meniscus tears or your ACL tears and you're still in there. And this guy is just as hungry. He knows you're hurt. He knows you're hurt and he's coming after you. What do? Do you fucking say, oh no, my knee, I gotta, you know, lay down? Do you lay down and you just let him punch you and elbow you in the head? Is that what you do? No. You fight back. And that's what Thiago Santos did in this fight. He fought. And he fought fucking smart. Even when he was hurt. Now, I don't know if Dominic Reyes is that dude. You see Dominic Reyes in fucking Tovo tire, Toyo, or however they're fucking pronounced. I think it's like Tovo tires. What's that brand that the UFC Toyo tire? Yeah, Toyo tires. You know, you don't see, you know, John Jones in Toyo tire commercials. You don't see John Jones in commercials at all. You don't see John Jones I don't know, at press conferences trying to fucking, you know, talk shit or one up people. Every time you see John Jones, he's on the straight and steady path. Now, he might party, he might do some fucking cocaine, some booger sugar, he might smoke some fucking weed, but when it's time to get in that fucking octagon, bro, and the lights are on, and fucking Bruce Buffer is screaming, Bruce Buffer's face is all red, and he's screaming at the fucking top of his lungs, and his goddamn tie is coming untied because he's shouting so loud. That's when that shit matters, bro. And that's when John Jones always shows up. I don't know if Dominic Reyes is ready for that. I don't think so. I don't think Dominic Reyes has faced anyone that would lead me to believe that he is ready to take on John Jones. I don't believe it. I don't. I'm sorry. You know, I would rather see Corey Anderson fight John Jones. Because Corey Anderson, where's Corey Anderson at? Actually, I don't want to go into that. Corey Anderson has taken losses. Corey Anderson has been knocked out. Okay? Corey Anderson has been submitted. Corey Anderson is lost. Corey Anderson showed something very, very great in his last fight against, who's it? Johnny Walker. You know, people might be like, oh, Johnny Walker was out for a while. He hurt himself. He was probably still hurt. You know, all these fucking excuses, bro. But when I look at Corey Anderson, I see somebody that wants it. I see somebody that knows what it's like to take that fucking loss, dude, to just straight eat dick in front of everyone. You know? He knows that feeling. And I know that These people that feel these feelings, they don't want to feel that shit anymore. You don't want to, after getting knocked out, after getting submitted in front of the goddamn world, you don't want to get knocked out or submitted anymore. That's not what you want. Look at George St. Pierre. George St. Pierre got starched by Matt Serra. You think George St. Pierre ever took a loss again? You think George St. Pierre took a fucking loss after he got knocked out to Matt Serra? Fuck no, George St. Pierre says. I'm not doing this shit no more. Fuck that. Fuck that. Look at Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson bursts on through the Ultimate Fighter and he fucking dominates. Rex. And then he gets beat by Michael Johnson out of nowhere. You think he came back from that fight talking about, oh, well, I lost to Michael Johnson. Better fucking hang it up. No, dude. He lost and he adapted. He did what he needed to do, and now he's a fucking monster. It took a long time for him to finally fight Khabib, but it's here, goddammit, and I'm happy. I'm happy. And I'm getting excited. I'm getting worked up. But my point is, I don't know if Dominic Reyes is that guy yet. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Maybe if Dominic Reyes was here, was in the light heavyweight division around like 2009, you know, I don't know what the fucking heavyweight, I don't know what the light heavyweight division is anymore. I sincerely don't. I don't know what the fuck it is anymore. It's not the same place. Like, John Jones legit fucked up the light heavyweight division, dude. He beat so many people. He beat so many killers. John Jones has murdered so many fucking killers. It has sent people to middleweight. It sent people to heavyweight. It sent people to Bellator. It sent people to ONE FC. Are going out of their way. Fighters are going out of their way to not have this happen to them. These people don't want to fucking fight John Jones again. Rashad Evans is a fucking announcer, you know? Rashad Evans is like doing a UFC TV spots, you know? He's talking about this shit. You know, he didn't seem like he's really fighting anymore. And I can't blame him. You know? And John Jones was that downfall, dude. Look at that. He lost quite a few fights, dude. But look at that. It all started, bro. It all started, you know, Lyoto Machida beat him, but it all started with John Jones, bro. That real decline of Rashad Evans started with John goddamn Bones, bro. That's how it started, man. Lyoto Machida beat him, yeah, sure. He came back, you know what I'm saying, against Thiago Silva. Monster. Rampage Jackson, a 2010 Rampage Jackson, mind you. Tito Ortiz, TKO, Phil Davis. And I think, and Phil Davis. But it's like that fight against John, dude, that threw him off. It really did. John Jones, man, like, my pick for this fight for John Jones out of Dominic Reyes is obviously John Jones. On paper, John Jones is gonna win, and I understand that Dominic Reyes is undefeated too. Nobody's touched him yet, but John Jones, nobody's touched John Jones after 10 years. After 10 years of fighting fucking juggernauts, dude. Fighting. John Jones spent years fighting the men that made the light heavyweight division the craziest fucking division in UFC history. I know the welterweight and the lightweight division right now is fucking wild right now. The heavyweight division is going a little crazy, you know, but no division at no point in time will be as crazy as 2009, the 2009 light heavyweight division. That was the craziest goddamn division. The craziest time and the craziest division. When you had legends, living legends running around fighting each other. You have this guy named John Jones decimating all of them, bro. Dominic Reyes doesn't have that. He doesn't have a long history of decimating legends. He doesn't have that. He beat Jared Cannonier. Yeah, sure. You know? He beat Ovin St. Pro. I mean, yeah, sure, dude. Terrific fighters. He beat Chris Weidman. That's iffy, dude. Because Chris Weidman wasn't really a fucking a light heavyweight. I don't think Chris Weidman was ready for that fight. I think, if you're gonna go to a different weight class, dude, you're gonna need some fucking months. You can't just go from middleweight to light heavyweight. You need, I'd say you need to get your body adjusted to that weight class, and that's something that I don't think Chris Weidman did, and he paid for it. So, the most notable person that Dominic Reyes has ever beaten is Chris Weidman. And Chris Weidman, at the time that he lost to Dominic Reyes, was just a puffed up middleweight. So, I'm not sure how this is going to go. I'm not sure how this is going to go for Dominic Reyes, but at the same time, John Jones is going to win. Now, you never know what happens in MMA. As I've said for the third time in this fucking video, you don't know. But what I do know is that Dominic Reyes is unchallenged. Nobody has ever, really brought it to Dominic Reyes. Nobody's really ever brought it to him. Brought it to him to a point to where, hey, dude, you have to figure out what you're gonna do right now. When you're on the bench, when you're on the stool, and you might have just lost that last round. Your coach is like, "Hey man, you want this shit or not, dude? Because I'm not gonna let you go out there and keep getting hurt." He hasn't been in that position where he has to fucking steal himself. And I know all fighters do when they fight professionally and even amateur, but he's just never been in a fight, dude. He's never been in a real fight. John Jones has been in numerous fights, where he had to work to get that goddamn win. Hey man, Dominic Reyes, I don't know about this fight. I honestly think that he should have fought somebody else. I think that this fight should have been John Jones versus Stipe Miocic. It's just my personal opinion. I'm not a part of the UFC. I am just a guy that watches the UFC, and I train in my own time. I'm not a UFC fighter. I'm never claimed to be. But it's not looking good for Dominic Reyes, dude. Hey, before we go, let's look at this video. Let's look at this video. John Jones busted again. John Jones Dominic Reyes press conference, bro. Now, one thing that I sincerely do believe is that fighting and speaking goes hand in hand. I really do believe that. I feel like when you have a debate or an argument, it's just like it's a fight, except it's just not physical. It's just purely verbal, and I honestly think it's the same way with fighting. You have to do your research. You have to speak well. You have to put certain sentences together to make a point, make one point. It's like fighting in a lot of ways. And I just want you guys to hear this cringe moment. This moment that kind of made me cringe. And I'm gonna try to find it.
But it's all good. We're here now.
Oh yeah,
he got what he asked for, and I'm gonna put my hands on him. It's gonna be great.
So you're upset with him. Last time we spoke also about up and coming contenders.
With the insults, and I don't really care. At the end of the day, my job is to do 2020. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have this guy. I don't know if I want to knock him out, choke him out, but
time fighting in the great state of Texas.
Told her.
Remember, you tweeted that you had a
Trying to get a Stipe Miocic fight.
What you're angling for. Is there?
I watch his fights every single day. And so I got to take him very seriously.
I read that book like 3 years ago, so.
All right, so here we go. This is the part. I want you guys. I mean, I know this isn't really an indicator of anything, but you know, I think it is. You know, fights like this, any fight, you know, talking has a big part to play in it. You know, you just need to look at Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo. Conor McGregor completely got into the head of Jose Aldo, and because he got in the head of Jose Aldo with his words and with his actions, he ended up knocking him out in one punch. You know, so words mean something. But I just want you guys to see how Dominic Reyes handles this press conference. Not the entire press conference, but I just want you guys to see how Reyes handles this one moment in the press conference. You know, just watch.
I'm trying to be a cleaner, dude. I wanna dominate for years and years to come, and so I got to take him very seriously.
I read that book like 3 years ago, so.
It's a good book.
It's a good book.
It's a great book. I'm glad you did. I'm reading it right now.
It might have helped me get here, to be honest.
You know, I'm reading it right now in this training camp leading into beating your ass.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, Johnny boy. Not gonna happen.
Great response, Dominic.
Oh! Dude! Dude. Oh, Dominic. Jon Jones made you look so fucking bad. With 3 words. Oh, bro. That has nothing to do with the fight that's coming up, but Jesus Christ.
And this one's for Dominic.
Bro, look at Dominic's face after Jon Jones just totally fucking curbed his response, dude. Look at Dominic's face.
It might have helped me get here, to be honest.
You know, I'm reading it right now in this training camp leading into beating your ass.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Look at his fucking face, man.
Johnny boy, not gonna happen.
Great.
Johnny boy, dude. Johnny boy, dude. These guys aren't even fighting. They're talking. They're literally just talking in front of a bunch of people, dude. And I understand that, you know, you might be on the, you know, bright lights. You're on the grand stage, and everybody has their eyes on you. But Jesus, fucking
right now
Christ.
in this training camp leading into beating your ass.
Look at his face, bro. Look how long it takes this man to come up with a fucking rebuttal, dude. First off,
you know, I'm reading it.
Wait, hold on. Hey, dude. This is pretty much the end of the video. This is just memes from right here. This is just simply memes. So that's the end of the video for the guys that are just here for the serious shit and the statistics and my opinion. If you're here for that, so I'll see you guys later. For the guys that like to fuck around and be a little silly, the video is gonna go on for like a few more minutes. I just want you guys to look at this guy's face, man.
Right now in this training camp leading into beating your ass.
Oh. Look, dude. What was he gonna say, dude? He couldn't think of anything to say, dude. He really couldn't think of anything to say. Dude, Jon Jones is like one of the most underrated talkers like in the UFC, bro. People say Conor McGregor this, cringe, Cejudo that. Jon Jones is the best talker.
It might have helped me get here, to be honest.
He's the best talker.
You know, I'm reading it right now in this training camp leading into beating your ass.
Bro, he couldn't think of anything. Dana knows, bro. Dana knows that was a pretty good burn, dude. You can tell, bro. Look at this smile on Dana's face. That sincerely pleased Dana, dude. Dana appreciates your work, John.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, Johnny boy. Not gonna happen.
Great response.
Damn.
Dominic.
Look at his face.
And this one's for Dominic.
Oh, bro. That doesn't mean anything. That's just for me, dude. I found that to be, like, cringy. You know? And it happened again. You know, it happened again where John Jones said something else, and you know, Dominic had like a lame fucking response, and you know, like that's the problem with MMA today. Like people try to be, you know, that guy try to have like the quick witty comebacks, but hey, dude, if you're not a fucking quick witty person, just be like, okay, well, we'll see. That's all you had to say, Dominic. You didn't have to fucking call him Johnny Boy and say it's not gonna happen. You don't fucking know it's gonna happen. And to for your information, Dominic, it very well might happen, dude. You know, I hope you know Dominic's training is going a lot better than, you know, his fucking his goddamn rebuttals, dude. That's just awful, dude. It made me feel bad. How about Rampage Jackson versus Fedor Emelianenko, with Fedor weighing 225 pounds. I think that's like pretty much standard weight for Fedor, right? But dude, Rampage Jackson is 260 fucking 5 pounds. And that's I'll do another video about this Bellator, like the Bellator card that's coming up, because I did find that interesting, especially this fight right here. MVP versus this fucking Shinsho guy, which of course MVP is going to win. Let's not kid ourselves. But I thank you guys for joining me in this video. Go ahead and leave your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Smash that like button for me, bro, if you so choose. And I will see you guys a little bit later on. See you guys just a little bit later on. All right.